Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. In this video I'll be showing you how to make this baggy oversized retro sweater. I made the sweater for my size, which is medium, so I will leave the measurements of it here so that you can adjust it the way you prefer. If you would like to make it bigger, you can also use thicker yarn or bigger hook. And it's inspired by the super talented creator. I totally adore her sweater designs, so I would like to give her credit. Make sure to check out her work. So let's start. For this project, I used the Alize Angora gold yarn, which is a mohair yarn. Here are all the information about it. And here are the 4 colors I used. I'm doubling this yarn, so I made a sample of it for the reference in case you would like to use a different yarn without doubling it. And the sample is 6 rows of 7/2 double crochets, and I used 9mm crochet hook for it. So that's the main hook I used for the sweater, and I personally prefer to use 1 number bigger hook for making the chain parts, so I also used 10mm crochet hook, but that is optional for you. Then you will need scissors, markers, needle for sewing, and I also used felting needle for helping me to weave in the ends, but this tool is also optional. So let's start. Starting with the front panel, I will grab my bigger hook and the darker turquoise color, and I'm going to leave some extra yarn before I start so I can use it for later sewing. Then I'll make a slip knot, and I'm going to chain 10. So here are 10 chains. Now I will switch my hook to the smaller one. And into the second chain from the hook I will work this stitch, I believe is called yarn over slip stitch. So yarn over, then insert the hook into the chain, pull the yarn, and I have 3 loops on hook and I'm going to pull through. Then again yarn over, hook inside the chain, pull through, and I have 3 loops and I will pull through the 2 loops. Then continue working the stitch into every chain. So this is how it looks from both sides. It's the first row of the ribbing. And for the next row, I'm going to chain 1, turn my work, and there are these 3 rows of loops, and I'll be working into this one. So work 1 single crochet on back loop, and then the same thing into every stitch of the row. These are the first 2 rows of the ribbing, and now I'll be just alternating between them. Now chain 1, turn your work, and I'm going to work the yarn over slip stitch again, but only into back loops. So yarn over, hook inside the loop, pull the yarn, and pull through all loops. And then the same into every stitch. Then chain 1, turn your work, and I'll repeat the same thing, so 1 row of single crochets on back loop. And that's it. I'm going to alternate between these 2 rows until I reach the number of 52 rows in total. So I will continue here, and after I'm done, I'll be back. I'm coming to the end of the last row, and here's the whole ribbing I made. Now I will chain 1 and cut the yarn. I will take the next color, the lighter turquoise, and I'm going to leave an extra yarn for sewing. Then I will make a slip knot and I'm going to attach here into the last made stitch. I will pull the yarn through, chain up 1, and work 1/2 double crochet into the same space. Then into the next row of the ribbing I will work another 1/2 double crochet right here into this space. So every row of the ribbing will get 1/2 double crochet. Here's this row of single crochets, so 1/2 double crochet in it. And then into the row of yarn over slip stitch. I'm going to continue like this until I come to the end of the ribbing, and after I'm done, I'll be back. I'm coming to the end, and I'm going to place my last stitch here into this space. So that's the whole row done, the total of 52 stitches. And now I will chain 1, turn my work, and I'm going to work 1/2 double crochet into every stitch for the next 18 rows, so that there will be 19 rows of this color in total. I will go ahead and there I'll be back. So I'm coming to the end of the last row. This is the last stitch. And here's the result so far. Now I'm gonna change the color, so I will take my next color, which is pink, and I'll make a slip knot, put it on the hook, then pull through the turquoise loop, and then tighten it. Then I will tie a knot here, and then that's it. And I will cut the turquoise yarn. Now I will continue the same way, chain 1, turn my work, and with this color I will work 14 rows in total of 1/2 double crochet into every stitch. And after I'm done, I'll be back. I'm coming to the end here. I made 14 rows of pink, and now I will chain 1, then leave an extra yarn for sewing, and then I'll cut the yarn. And the front panel is almost finished. Now before the last step, make sure that the ribbing of your panel is facing you with this side, not with this one. This is the wrong side and this is the right side. Now I'm going to make the waves pattern here. So take your panel like this, and I will take my purple yarn, make a slip knot, put it on the hook, and now count the third row of the pink color. So 1, 2, 3, and I will insert the hook right here, that's between third and fourth row. Then I will yarn over and make one loose slip stitch, like this. Then I will go into the hole right above and make another slip stitch. So these were 2 slip stitches forward, and now the pattern will be gradually rising to the right, going through 3 rows. So skip 1 row, and I insert the hook here and make a slip knot. That's the first row, then second, and third. So that's it. Then I will go 2 holes forward, and now I will go gradually to the left through 3 rows. So I will go here, then here, and then here. So this is the whole pattern that will repeat from now. This is how it looks from the other side. Now I will do the whole thing again, so 2 slip stitches forward, and then I will go through 3 rows to the right, so slip stitch here, here, and then here. If the pattern is still not clear enough for you, here's another way of knowing where exactly to insert your hook. Here you can see that inside the arc there are 2 empty stitch holes, here are 3, and here 4, and the same here, 2, 3, and 4. So let me show you the pattern again. So it's 2 holes forward, then here it's 1, 2, 3 into the 3rd hole. Here I will skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and go into the 4th, and here into the 5th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's the pattern, and I'm going to continue like this until I come to the end of the panel here, and after I'm done, I'll be back. So I'm coming to the end. Here I made 2 slip stitches forward, and here I will just go up 1 row, in other words into the 3rd stitch hole, and then here into the 4th stitch hole. And that's it. Now I'm going to chain 2, and I'm going to turn my work with this pink part of the panel down and into the 2nd chain from the hook I will work 1 slip stitch. Like that. Make sure that you don't tighten the slip stitches too much. Then into the next stitch I will insert the hook in and make 1 loose slip stitch. Then the same into the next stitch. And now continue working like this into every slip stitch you made until you come here to the end. So after I'm done here, I'll be back. I'm almost at the end. Here's the last stitch. And now I will just chain 1 and cut the yarn. So this is the first wave done, and now I will work the second one the same way. So take your yarn, make a slip knot, put it on the hook, and here's the highest point of the previous wave, so from here you will count 2 rows to the right, and that means I will attach the yarn here. So I will make my first slip stitch, then the second one forward, and then I will travel this way to here, then skip 1 row here, and 1 more here. That's it. Now I will go 2 stitch holes forward, and then I will follow the same steps. So go into the 3rd stitch hole, then into the 4th, and then into the 5th. And that's it. Then 2 holes forward. Then again the same pattern, into the 3rd here, into the 4th here, and lastly into the 5th here. And the pattern looks the same on the other side as well. So I will go ahead here, and after I'm done I'll be back. So I'm coming to the end, and here's the last space. That's it. Now I will chain 2, turn the panel with the pink part down. And then the same thing. So one loose slip stitch into the second chain from the hook. And then one slip stitch into every stitch of the wave. So the exactly same thing you did with the first wave. And after I'm done here, I'll be back. Here's my last slip stitch. Then chain 1 and cut the yarn. So that's the whole front panel done. This is how it looks. And the back panel is exactly the same, with no difference, so you will make one more the same way. I already made mine here, and after you're done with both, we can move to the sleeves. Starting with the first sleeve, I will take my light turquoise color and bigger hook, and I'm gonna leave a little of extra yarn, and I will make a slip knot. And I'm starting with the ribbing, so I will chain 10. So that's 10. I will switch the hook. And into the second chain I will work the yarn over slip stitch. So yarn over, hook in, pull through, and pull through 2. And then the same into every chain. The ribbing for the sleeves is the same as for the panels. That's the first row. Now chain 1, turn your work, and then I will work single crochets on back loops. And that's it. Continue alternating between these two rows until you will have a total of 20 rows. I will continue here, and after I'm done, I'll be back. So here I'm at the end. This is the last stitch. This is how it looks. And I'm going to chain 1 and cut the yarn. Now I'm going to change the color to darker turquoise, so I will make a slip knot. And I forgot to leave some extra yarn before sewing, so later I came back to fix it off video. So before you make the slip knot, leave some extra yarn, if that's the way you want to join the sleeves together. And I will attach it here into the last stitch of the ribbing. Then chain 1. And into the same space I will work 2 half double crochets. So I increased into the first row of the ribbing, and into the next row I will work only 1 half double crochet. Then I will continue working 1 half double crochet into every row until I reach the end of the ribbing. So I'm at the end, and into the last row here I will work 2 half double crochets. So that's the first row of the sleeve with a total of 22 stitches. And so every upcoming row now will get 1 increase at the beginning and at the end of it. In other words, 2 half double crochets into the first and last stitch of the row. So for the next row I will chain 1, turn my work, and into the first stitch I will work 2 half double crochets. Then I will continue working 1 half double crochet into every stitch until I reach the last one, where I will work 2 half double crochets. Here's the last stitch. I will increase in it. And that's it. Then I will chain 1, turn my work, and continue working like this for the next 13 rows, so that there will be 15 rows of increasing in total. I will go ahead, and after I'm done, I'll be back. So I'm at the end of the last row and I will work the last increase. This is how it looks, and there are 50 stitches in total. Now I will chain 1, turn my work, and I will work 4 rows of 1/2 double crochet into every stitch with no increasing. And after that I will change the color. So I will work just 1/2 double crochet into the first stitch. And also I'm going to mark it here just to see from where I stopped increasing. So go ahead, and after I'm done with the 4 rows, I'll be back. So here's the last stitch, and I'm just going to change the color. So I will leave some extra yarn, then cut it, and my next color is purple. So I will leave an extra yarn from it too, then I will make a slip knot, and I will attach it here. Then I will tighten this turquoise loop, then tie a knot, chain 1, turn my work, and I will work 14 more rows of this color the same way, so 1/2 double crochet into every stitch. And after I'm done with mine here, I'll be back. So here's the last stitch. I made 14 rows here. Then I will chain 1, then leave some extra yarn for sewing the sleeve, and then I will cut it. Here's how the sleeve looks. This is the right side and this is the wrong side. And now I will work the same wave pattern I did on the panels, and I will use the pink color for it. So make a slip knot, then count 3 rows to the right, so 1, 2, 3, and here into the space between 3rd and 4th row is where I will attach it. So work 1 slip stitch, then 1 more forward, and then I will travel through 3 rows to the right. Then 2 slip stitches forward, and then into the 3rd hole, then 4th hole, and then 5th hole. And that's it. I will now continue until I reach the end of the sleeve, then I will come back the same way, and then I will start the second wave. So after I'm done, I'll be back. I'm at the end here. I will chain 1, and then cut the yarn. So the first wave is done, and now I will make the second one. Count the rows, 1, 2, and here's the place where I'll be attaching the yarn. So make a slip knot, and work 1 slip stitch into the space. Then 1 more forward, and now traveling through 3 rows to the right. Then 2 And then I will continue the same pattern, and after I'm done with the wave, I'll be back. I'm at the end here. I will chain 1 and cut the yarn. Now the whole sleeve is done, and it will look like this from the outside. And this is the inside part, so I will fold it like this. I will get rid of this marker, and I'm left with a lot of ends here. So if you want, you can use this last strand to sew the sleeves from its opening down, but I prefer to use the strand for sewing the sleeve to the panels, so I will start from the bottom up. So starting from the ribbing, I like to use slip stitches also for sewing, so I will insert my hook into the both parts here, into the stitches. And I will use the strand and pull through. Then I will chain 1, tighten it, and work 1 slip stitch into the same space. And then I will work 1 slip stitch into every stitch of the ribbing. I'm done here. And now the color changes, so I will insert the hook inside the first row from both sides. And I will use this new strand of the same color to pull through. Then I will insert the hook into the next row from both sides and work another slip stitch. I will continue like this, but this strand is not long enough, so I will show you what to do in case it will happen to you too. I will take the yarn of the same color, make a slip knot, and I will insert the hook into the next row, and I will use this new strand to make a slip stitch. And I'm going to continue this way until I reach the next color. This is the last row. I will cut the yarn here. And I will go into the next row and grab the purple strand to make a slip knot. And then I will continue like this. And there are these two waves, and you can skip them while joining the sleeve, but I will go into the row where they are, work a slip stitch, and then I will insert the hook into the next row, then into the wave, then into the other wave too, and then into the row on the other side. And then I will pull the yarn through all and make a slip stitch. Then I will repeat this with the second wave as well. Into the row, into the wave, into the other wave, and into the row. Then here's the last row of the sleeve. And to finish this up, I will work one more slip stitch on top of these two stitches. And then that's it. I will chain 1 and pull the yarn. Now the sleeve is completed. I will later weave in all of these ends, and it looks like this after you flip it. The seam is clear and nice, and then that's it. Now we can move to the second sleeve. The pattern for the second sleeve is the same, so I will take this briefly. Starting with the ribbing, I will take my purple color and bigger hook. I will leave an extra yarn for the sewing, then make a slip knot, work 10 chains, then change the hook, work yarn over slip stitch into every chain, so that's 9 stitches in total. Then chain 1, turn your work, work 1 single crochet on back loop into every stitch, and then done. Repeat these 2 rows until you will get a total of 20. So there are 20 rows of the ribbing done. Now I will chain 1, cut the yarn, and the next color is pink, so I will leave some extra yarn, then make a slip knot, attach it into the last stitch of the ribbing, and then work 2 half double crochets into the same space. Then 1 half double crochet into every row of the ribbing and 2 half double crochets into the last row. Now for the next 14 rows, I will increase at the beginning and at the end of the row, and I will have a total of 15 rows of increasing in pink color. After I'm done, I will take my next color, which is darker turquoise. I will leave an extra yarn for the sewing, then make a slip knot, attach it, and then I will work 18 straight rows with this color, so no decrease, no increase, just 1 half double crochet into every stitch. Then after completing 18 rows, I will chain 1, leave an extra yarn for sewing, and then cut the yarn. Now this is the right side and this is the wrong side, so I will fold the sleeve with the wrong side out, and then I will start joining it the same way I did with the previous sleeve, starting from the ribbing. So go ahead, and when you're at the last row, slip stitch once more on top of these stitches, and then you're done. The sleeve is complete and it looks like this from the right side. Now we can move to the assembling. I will start by joining the panels at the sides, and before that, make sure that these sides of the panels where the waves are facing each other. So I will flip mine here. And now both sides look like this. And from the bottom here, not counting the ribbing, I'm going to mark the 9th row of both panels. So here goes the first one, and now the second one as well. Then I will do the same thing on the other side too. And that's it. And now I will join them together, stopping at the point that I marked. And I will use the ends again to do this. So you will work slip stitches into every stitch of the ribbing and then into 9 rows. I came to the marker here, so I will work the last slip stitch, chain 1 and pull the yarn. That's it, and I'm going to repeat the same thing on the opposite side. After I'm done on both sides, I will move up here. I'll be using these pink strands and the markers again, and I will mark the 13th stitch from both ends of the panels. So here's one panel, and now the other. That's it, and now the same thing from the other side. Now from each side I will use the pink strand to join the panels together, and I will go into every stitch, including the marked one. When I'm here, I will take out the marker and work the last slip stitch. Then I will chain 1 and pull the yarn. Then I'm going to flip this over and repeat the same thing. So I created the hole for the head and for the sleeves on sides, so next I will join the sleeves. But before that, let me just clear all the strands and weave in the ends. Okay, so I'm done, and let's move to the sleeves. So take one of them. I already flipped them with the wrong side out, and it doesn't really matter which one you join to which side, because there's basically no back or front part of the sweater. So I'm taking this one, and I'm going to mark the 25th and 26th stitch from here. I will put the marker in and also attach it to the corner of the panel here. Then I will turn this. And here's the space that I marked before, so I will start from here. I will go into it and into the first stitch of the sleeve. Use the strand to make a chain. And then work one slip stitch into the same space. Then using the same strand for the whole sleeve, I will go into every next row of the panel and every next stitch of the sleeve, and I will continue like this until I will reach the marker. Here where the waves are, I will go into the row, then into the wave, and into the stitch. Then pull through to make a slip stitch. And then repeat with the second wave too. When I reach the top here, I will remove the marker and I will insert the hook inside the seam to make a slip stitch. Then I will flip the work and continue joining the pieces until I come to the point where I started. When I'm here, I will just work some extra slip stitches to avoid leaving a hole here. So that's it for the sleeve. Later I will get rid of these strands here, and then I will attach the second sleeve on the opposite side the same way. So go ahead, and after I'm done, I'll be back. So I'm back. I attached the sleeve and flipped the sweater with the right side out already. And now the last part, I will do the ribbing here, where the hole for the head is. So I will take the purple yarn, make a slip knot, and I will start from here where the seam is. I will pull the yarn through, and then chain up 7. Then I will change my hook, and into the second chain from the hook I will start working yarn over slip stitches. So that's 6 stitches in total. Now I will take out the hook. I will bring this yarn to here, put the hook back, and into the next stitch here I will work one slip stitch and tighten it. And into the next stitch I will work one more tight slip stitch. And now I will start working one loose slip stitch on back loop of each stitch. So that's a total of 6. Now I will chain 1, turn the ribbing, and work yarn over slip stitch into every stitch on back loop. This is the last stitch, and now I will take out the hook, bring the yarn up here, put the hook back into the loop, and here I already slip stitched, so I will work one slip stitch into the next empty stitch and tighten it. Then work one more into the next stitch and tighten it too. I will repeat the pattern one more time, so slip stitch into every stitch on back loop, then chain 1, turn the ribbing, and work yarn over slip stitch into every stitch on back loop. Then after I'm at the end, remove the hook, bring the yarn up here, then put the hook back in, and then into the next empty stitch I will work one tight slip stitch. And then one more into the next stitch. And then repeat the same pattern. I will continue like this all around the hole. Here I will just skip the seam and continue, and after I'm done, I'll be back. So I came to the end of the ribbing here, and I have only one empty stitch left, so I will slip stitch in it. And the next empty stitch is this one where I started the ribbing, but I will work the second slip stitch into the seam here. Then I will go up with the slip stitches. That was the last row of the ribbing, and now I will just close this gap. So chain 1, and I will hold the ribbing like this from the wrong side. I will insert the hook into the both stitches at the beginning. Put the yarn on the hook, pull through, chain 1, and then work one slip stitch into the same space. And then the same thing into every stitch. Here's the last stitch of the ribbing. And I will work one more here into the panel. And then just chain 1 and cut the yarn. And that's it. The whole sweater is finished. I hope you enjoyed this pattern. If you would feel like sharing your finished result of the sweater with me, you will find my social media down below. I would be more than happy to see. If you like this video, you can give it a thumbs up or comment down below. And if you want to see next videos, hit the subscribe button. See you next time!